Good evening, welcome back to the Student StarCraft AI tournament. We will be speeding things up a lot this week because I have had so many recommendations. There is so much awesome stuff going on, and that is with CIG not even started yet. Today the final lineups will be complete. I don't know if they will be published, but we'll keep an eye on that as well. Unfortunately, this game or this set is recorded beforehand, so I don't have the the final closing statements. Oh dear, here we go. And it's of course a cannon rush. Jacob Tranchik and KonBot are duking it out. And let's see what the follow-up of KonBot is going to be. KonBot's already taken the natural, and Tranchik is just going to do what it's always going to do. And there are two probes stuck, and that's really silly, but still enough probes mining. But that will delay things quite a bit, and KonBot is about to lose its main this time. So while this is brewing, let me line up what's been happening this week. We've had a lot of updates. We've had new bots, 2 of them. You can see them here. High School Strats has been on for a while. UIE Test, of course, new, and there are 2 of those, 1 and 2. I don't know if they're by the same author, but it's all from the university in Vietnam, I think. Then FIFA Legend got a couple of upgrades, and other people have been working hard as well on their bots. It's really astounding. If you look at the dates today, it is the 17th. And if you take it up to the 10th, that's a lot of updates again. So that's always very reassuring. Crazio has been updated as well. And if you look at the ELO ratings, it's Crazio right on top and Lacuda's number 2. Crazio's taken a large margin back. Ironbot still holding at number 3, that's really quite a feat, and then 40 points more to be Reaver, Purple Wave, and then it's a bit of a Protoss thing coming up. Skyforknet, Killerbot still there, TSCMU Protoss got some kind of an update, and then by now there are 15 TSCMUs active on the ladder, and all the usual suspects. So that's great. And then the AI tournament by Nathan has been run, and I don't really know what AIST stands for. But there was a small AI run-up. You can see the results here. TSCMU over Steamhammer and Madmix. Well, Madmix beat Steamhammer, that's pretty good. And then Purple Wave beat it down quickly, and TSCMU dispatched of it. McRave took out TSCMU, that's quite a feat. And then McRave took out Purple Swarm, and McRave dropped 3-1 to Purple Swarm. These games will still be cast, and I think scheduled for today later on. And on Facebook we got some time in some kind of American format, so that will be a little bit later than our broadcast. And of course the Goal project in Delft is wrapping up. That means a lot of games from there as well. I'll be sent some of the games from the final tournament next week. And you can see here that the KonBot is taking the entire map, not really rebuilding any infrastructure, and the main is dead and gone. So here we go. Oh, some 4 hapless SCVs are coming around the bend from here. But otherwise, KonBot is in fine shape, just building a lot of SCVs all over the place. If we look at the build orders, it's SCVs, depots, and the occasional command center, while Tranchik is doing its one-trick pony thing and blanketing the map with cannons in the main. You can see that KonBot is only going to be mining. It's not really going to restart any. Oh wow! Oh, barracks where? Okay, so here apparently is the new main, and here's going to be a barracks as well. So that's pretty good. But by then, 2 cannons on the high ground, so this barracks will not be very safe. But then again, that's something else entirely. There will be, there will be 10 barracks at once, lots of refineries, a handful of marines, and Tranchik is happily plodding away building cannons, so all nice and well. And now the SCVs are going to move up the ramp. That will not be easy. And here we go. So the fight is on, but a lot of cannons on the high ground, and I sincerely doubt that even with all the marines in the world, KonBot will be able to break that. And here is going to not another command center, But by now, look at that go. It's... oh, that's so beautiful with an AI. They all get built in the same time. And perhaps this pylon might die, but this cannon fortification might be just the best any bot can pull off on the high ground. And it's a damn shame that we haven't really got... wow, this is insane. Haven't got a kill counter on this cannon, but this cannon is getting damaged. Might be nice to have... oh dear. Zealots are being built because Tranchik likes to do that when the cannon rush is done, and I'll just keep it on the production tab. This is so whack. It will build some Zealots, send them over and try to kill the remainder, but the remainder by now has taken the entire map, and 20 Marines, oh, and a medic now are being built all at once. Problem is that these Marines over here, oh, they killed the cannon, look at that. They did kill the cannon, oh, and now are going for the main, and the main, of course, is a handful of Zealots, and by now, 20 more barracks are going to be built all over the place. Construction is in full swing. This is really rapid, and it's only the only bad thing is that this is not a 256 line, 65, I think it is. So yeah, there we go. Lots of Marines coming up, and they are now going to congregate over here. There is one medic, but that's not really a lot, and a lot of depots, turrets, Marines, medics, and here we go. Wow, that's a double line production tab. That's really out of control. And KMBot is, despite having all the income of the entire map, is keeping its money down. Pilot is going to be killed by this Marine over here, and these Marines are going for the cannon, and the cannons are not going to be rebuilt. So with the help of these beautiful Open BW replay viewer, I'm going to speed it up a notch, and look at, there are still depots being built for some reason. The map must be absolutely full. Oh, here's a small problem, there's a small problem. Have we got any more small problems? Oh, we have got the rocket barracks all over the place. This base hasn't been taken yet, that's strange. But yeah, there we go. So eventually this game will peter out because these units over here, they won't be able to reach it. And oh god, this is quite silly as well. So you can see the minerals racking up quickly because all the units are stuck here and there. But still they can just range this pylon, I think. But the SUVs, the SUVs are trying to take this base, that's it, I suppose. So with 80 workers and 114 what's it, 93 Marines, this cannon must have such a lot of kills. But I'll ramp it up to 200,000 times the speed. Let's see if anything's getting done at all. Marines keep dying, so production tab is here, and the occasional building is still being built. That's absolutely gobsmacking. We've got 130 Marines almost. Oh no, of course we've got medics, and still barracks are being built. There are so many barracks you could just replenish with pure barracks, and this of course is not good. That of course isn't good either, and I think that Tranchik is going to win this in points. This game has been running for quite a while. It's 1,000 times the speed, and I don't really think it's 1,000 times the speed, it's just very fast. So there we go, still more barracks being built somewhere. I can't, it doesn't really show me where it is. Okay, so, oh god, no, it gets unstuck, that's good. And, oh, no, where are all these Marines coming from? So the worker count is dropping a little bit. Army count is like that. Oh, and a KM-bot is mined out. So there are minerals here, these SUVs are trying to get there. There are minerals here, but no one's doing anything about that. And there are minerals over here, and that is the GG. Got to tune it down a little bit for the next game. GG! Next game up is Johan Kaiser versus Ifbot, and I always get a couple of games which are really good, a couple of games which are really interesting because players do unexpected stuff, and a couple of games which are complete nonsense. And going by the name of Johan Kaiser, I fear this game will be one of those two. Goose chase going on with 3 SUVs, wow. That's not good. And Johan Kaiser is going for a very safe setup with a lot of bunkers, which natural always does. So the onus is on Ifbot to do anything with that, and Ifbot is going for a couple of marines and a couple of bunkers. So this is a 20-minute no-rush game. The bunker SimCity by Johann Kaiser, of course, is better. Scouting SUV doesn't have a chance really. And a couple of tanks too, so Ifbot is really, well, it's almost as good as Kaiser. But Kaiser has got 2 bases, so we'll have more units in the end. And you can see that the supply is about double for Kaiser. And what is going to happen? It's good that an occasional scouting SUV gets killed, because otherwise this game would oh god, Johann Kaiser moving out. What are we seeing now? Oh god. And I'm a little bit sick. No, not really sick, I just had a bit of a birthday party, not mine, yesterday. Probably you can hear it in my voice as well. So there we go, Johann Kaiser doing things the hard way and nearly breaking through as well. Wow, that's absolutely impressive. That said, Ifbot has got the upgrade, so and a lot of medics, so that's cool. Doesn't repair the bunkers though, so that might be a problem in the end. And Johann Kaiser, will it take a 3rd base because the main is out, the natural's getting low. And of course, the main of Ifbot, which is not so heavily saturated, is going to last a bit longer, I think, than the natural of Johann Kaiser. And are there no long distance mining, just sending all over. The medics are not touched ever. And Ifbot is going to hold if my Gosu caster sense does not confuse me. And Johann Kaiser is now out of money. Oh, it's not really out of money, it's not really make anything. Oh god, the medic train is here for all reasons. And the natural will not be started, but there is a small band of marines out. And there is nothing left in these bunkers, so perhaps, yeah, there we go. They're going back for all reasons. Oh, and perhaps these SUVs might start long distance mining, but this 1 mineral patch, yeah, there we go. So a lot of income for Ifbot, no SUV transfer, so this base is not really up to it. But in the end, Ifbot prevails over KLBot. I say, congratulations. Next game up, and we are now hitting the territory of the games which might potentially be really rather good. And I should be careful with that, because there are so many games and I've only got about an hour to cast them. And, well, let's see how far we can get. So, Purple Wave versus Purple Swarm. The Iron Fist Dan is at it, and you will see, oh, that was really a little bit too quick. The Protoss Combat Sim is taking Purple Wave for a ride, killing some Zerglings, that's good. But as soon as it enters the range of the Sunguns, it's not going to go so well anymore. And there is a Spire, and I think it's upgrading by the looks of it. No, it's not, it's just flapping a bit. And with a handful of Mutas and Zerglings, I think these goons can be dispelled, but then you've got to fight really rather better than this. So, lots of goons of 1 base, and that's the 2, soon to be 3 base Muta thing. Mutas are pretty good, but they lack the hit points to fight these things, these goons straight on. And now the mutant numbers are sufficient to just throw away a couple of goons. And you can see that the Zealots don't like it very much either, but more goons are coming, and these mutas are getting pretty low. You can see that over here. And there we go. So natural taken by Purple Wave, Purple Zerg. Purple Swarm has taken the 3rd as well. Upgrade wise, of course, you've got range, you've got +1 mutas doing, and no kind of spells yet, so that's going to take a while. And of course, Purple Swarm might be better off just gathering a ball of mutas and doing things with that. But as it is, it's the advanced squad work of Brutal AI is not really all that good across all the bots. So a stacked group of mutas might have done away with this natural and this main, and now we've got 2 mutas over here and 3, and the Corsairs coming back and the goons are coming back, but there is no real concerted effort to get anything done. And of course with the goons and the Corsairs, that's going to be easy victory for Purple Wave. Now Purple Swarm taking a 4th base worker wise. Purple Swarm's very low, 25 workers on 4 bases, that's really not enough. And that is why you get that that hard fighting experience with now 28 workers and taking a base and moving in the wrong direction. That's not how you do it with one. So upgrade-wise, lots of upgrades for Zerg. Purple Wave is taking a third now and has got a more than double the economy at this moment. And now building 3 cannons in strategic position. I think that's a nice touch because you can zone off this area over here without actually using any army. But Purple Swarm taking a 4th base over here, but 3 versus 4 base is still good. Main, of course, still mining for Purple Swarm. And this clusterfuck of a battle in the middle of the map is still raging. If we look at the production tab, it's still Mutas and Scourge being built, and that's a strange decision because that's not really a mid-game army composition for Zerg. Although that's a lot of Mutas, and although they are pretty well upgraded, more basically taking Zerg. And as Protoss, you shouldn't let that kind of thing go on for too long, although you are building up a large army, because these Zealots, once the air dominance is established by the Mutas, are pretty much worthless, and the Goons, well, Zealot Goons, not really the strongest composition, and the 4th base for Purple Wave as well. Meanwhile, army supply-wise, Purple Swarm is really lagging behind, and that's mainly due to these very cheap army units, which are not really being killed off in any kind of efficient manner. And now the Goons hit up with the Zealots, and this natural, the Sunkens are not being rebuilt, and a couple of Sunkens, a couple of Lurkers, and you'll be good to go. Harassment going on all over the place, but Purple Wave seems to have things pretty well locked down. A couple of cannons all over the place, and that's just taking the toll on the Zerg units. And when the main army shows up, it's a butchery. So there you go. Still 3 times the army size for Protoss. This base still untaken, but otherwise the map's pretty much split. Zerg in difficulty of losing this base, but the Protoss army is mulling it out, being distracted by this handful of Zerg units. But there goes the base, and once the next base goes, it will be all downhill from there. Upgrade-wise, nothing spectacular, and Protoss just staying on this gateway Corsair composition. Perhaps here something interesting is going to come off. Yep, it's an observatory. And of course the Protoss will be able to watch the game in high definition, and it will be winning because it's 115 versus 3 army supply, and that's the game. So next game up is again Purple Wave, which we saw beat down Purple Swarm a couple of seconds ago, and now it's taking on Crazio. So Crazio, the number 1, but still got a few kinks in its armor which can be penetrated with the right build order or the right kind of play. So let's see and find out. Quick gas, and I think this is going to be a 1 base Goon range pressure kind of thing. Yep, there we go with the Goon range starting. And Crazio not being overly aggressive, taking the main ramp first, and then building 2 factories. Wow, that's pretty ballsy of 1 base, and can't really move down the ramp. And that means that Purple Wave can take its natural a little bit sooner. And of course, versus a large number of Goons, 1 bunker with Marines might not be good enough. But here comes the tank, and of course Siege. That's not a good position for a tank. But with the added vision, yeah, that's throwing away your first tank. And I don't know why Crazio is doing that, but that was the first tank. And it could, yeah, that's much better. The Goons can't touch it. You can zone off everything pretty much, and if ever the Goons get into range of that tank, the bunker will be raging the Goons. You'll be in a much better position. A little bit of repair might do it, but with the second tank rolling up, I think that's all fine and dandy. Natural up and running though for Purple Wave, and although some Goons are being sent over, yeah, there we go. 3 or 4 tanks, and this Goon thing is pretty much useless. This tank might need some repairs though, and I wonder why these SCVs aren't doing it. Obviously they have been brought along for repairs, but they are not repairing. And yeah, there we go. That might be a better decision, just to take a third and not throw all your units away, because these siege tanks will have the number on Goons for quite some time to come. And Crazio setting up shop with 2 bases, and that's pretty good. As a Protoss you need to be one base ahead, and if a Terran is turtling hardcore style like Crazio, you can get the whole map ahead, but that's something that's... oh, sorry. I should mute myself when I'm sneezing or something, but as a Protoss you should get the whole map ahead, while Crazio is doing its 2 base and later 3 base turtle. Now Vultures are moving out on the map, laying some mines, and just zoning things off. 3 depots over here, curiously placed, and 1 tank in. And I really wonder why Crazio is so careless with its tanks. There are no supporting units, oh, and yeah, there we go. Tank lost for a goon. That's not a good trade. If we look at the upgrades, Crazio rolling along with the tech, and production tab shows us that. Oh, hello. I thought I saw a fleet beacon somewhere. Or was that my imagination? Oh, the Vultures are doing away with this base. That's pretty good. Some work is lost, but then again the goons come back and carry it over. 3rd base taken by Crazio, and Crazio's weak point is that it never ever defends the 3rd base like that. So ideally, just lay a line of mines. Depot, tank, couple of Vultures, and that base is pretty much safe. Ooh, and Crazio with the minefields, getting some free kills. You can see that the army supply is favoring Crazio at the moment. These goons, while they have the numbers on the tanks, with the mines out and a lot of tanks on the map, they're just not getting things done anymore. At Crazio, really I feel if these goons were hitting the 3rd, it would take ages for these tanks to roll over and do something about that. But Crazio exerting its influence on the map with a lot of tanks and a lot of tech. And there it goes. So now, oh, we've got a carrier. So I was correct in seeing a fleet beacon somewhere. And Crazio hasn't got any anti-air at all. It's got 1 or 2 Goliaths, but nothing major. Oh, it's got some more. So it's spotted the carrier thing coming. And now the 3rd base is spotted by this carrier. There is 1 turret, which is good, but that's not nearly enough. 1 turret, 1 tank will not do versus a lot of carriers. Ooh, and that was a great mine hit. Poor Dragoons. So, yeah, now stuck on a mine again, and you can see it inching closer. Now an observer's moving over, and that's really how you do it. Just get detection, clean up the mine, and once you've got that, you've got a whole lot of macro where there's less to worry about. But Crazio now, if I know him any at all, it's going for a lot of anti-air. Couple of vessels, and of course Purple Wave is building a lot of stuff, having just taken the 3rd base. Crazio in a good position, but still this 3rd is not defended at all. Not even a single line of mines is protecting it, but the hammer is going to be dropped, and although a lot of tanks are remaining behind to just shore up the home defense, turret cover for Crazio is growing better and better. Once this huge lumbering army reaches the Protoss shores, Purple Wave will be in for a treat, and you can see this carrier isn't really having any fun with these well-upgraded Goliaths. You can see a lot of damage being dished out already. Crazio should be thinking of taking a 4th, and by now this 3rd is protected by the main push. And once this bridge is camped, the only exit will be through here, which will take forever. And a lot of armies over there. So without some production facilities added over here, Purple Wave might be in a lot of danger. And Crazio taking a 4th, having set up a good position on the natural. And with what kind of units is Purple Wave trying to fight this? A handful of carriers, a couple of goons, useless versus tanks, carriers pretty much useless versus all these Goliaths. And of course, well, how many Goliaths are there? There aren't all that many. They are being engaged, but the carriers are not really doing it in the most efficient manner possible. But still, I think that this Goliath thing is it's going to be cleaned up relatively quickly, and there is not a lot coming. So these tanks, although they have taken down the natural, which was pretty much mined out anyway, are going to fall prey to the carriers one time or another. And this 1 turret isn't going to do anything about that. The tanks, oh dear, oh dear. The goons are coming in from the beer. Ah, these goons. If your carriers have got any What is that? So this tank army is bereft of air cover. You run up the goons to kill the tanks, and you fly with the carriers to do something. And that's how you're not getting ahead in this game. So Crazio is replenishing the Goliath numbers, but still has got quite a lot of work to do. But now there are Goliaths with this expeditionary force again. And with the SCVs brought along for repairs on the Goliaths, that means that the carriers can't do anything with impunity anymore. And that's a bit of a problem. Some production has been added over here, nothing there and there yet. A couple of cannons, and I like how Purple Wave is zoning out small harassment things with just the old cannon here and there, and that's just how you protect a base. Crazio will have, of course, to commit with units, and is also bringing one tank and a couple of turrets to any expo it has. But by now Crazio has got such a huge economy, although the carriers are really running away with this containment, tearing it down record speed and retaking this base. I don't know if it's worth that for Purple Wave. But the carriers have gotten right out of control. We've got 8 carriers with 53 interceptors. Should be building a couple, but in this brief lull, I think it is going to build a couple of interceptors. And these Goliaths really lack the critical mass of stopping this carrier thing at this moment. So all the reinforcements of Crazios are being rolled up one at a time, and the natural choke is full of rubbish. So it can't really replenish, and the carriers are driving hard. The interceptor numbers are around 60, and the carrier numbers are growing slowly, and Crazio can't do too much about that. And although some of the carriers are getting low, and you can see once a sizable group of Goliaths has been established, these carriers have basically nowhere else to go but backwards. And here with the third, although there are not a lot of ground units, which is difficult because there are zealots, the turrets can ward off a lot of carriers. And now you see the momentum turning. Crazio with 33 Goliaths is not going to take any chances of carriers doing anything nasty with the science vessels on top. And where are the carriers? There is a small band of them here, all badly damaged, but it's only 6. And Crazio is setting up another push, and this time it's a veritable wall of Goliaths. And Purple Wave is not going to get anything done. Oh, Crazio took out this base with a drop so pro, and these cannons do not cover the base. And that's pretty well done, so I think that this game is going to go to Crazio. Lots and lots of Goliath. We've got 30 still, 100 tanks. Crazio's maxed. It's quite a lot of workers, but between all the turrets and all the mines and all the comsats, Crazio's got huge map control. And this death ball of an army with the occasional matrix thrown in, it's just not going to happen for Purple Wave. So this base is going to be shut down as well by a small secondary force. A couple of cannons over here, might take some time, but that's the game, good game, and Crazio taking a good one off Purple Wave. Good fight, Purple Wave, but the sad fact of the matter is that tanks and Goliaths need special tactics to beat, and you can't just rely on gateway units with the occasional carrier thrown in. So, Banana Brain versus Egbert, and Egbert's author Javier is, he informed me, working on his BA thesis, which will be completed in 2 days if he meets the deadline, so hope he pulls that through. But meanwhile, not too much time to spend on his bot, but it's quite good already, and you can see starting out with a nice choke detection, a couple of marines over there, and it looks like it's going to be some kind of marine play with an added academy, and yeah, one goon is not going to get anything done there. So Banana Brain going for the expansion, not really going to press the issue because this marine blob is going to be quite a menace once it rolls all across the map to knock on your door. And you had better have a lot of gateway units, or some higher tire units, which, oh, and that's just lucky that these marines will camp the natural choke. While Egbert sets up shop over there, and you can see how gateway army fares versus a well upgraded, it's not even upgraded yet, but just a stimmed Bio army, that's not good at all. Dark Templar going to be cut to pieces. And now Banana Brain is going to have to defend its third without an army. And there is one High Templar. Is there Storm? Yes, there is Storm. But it's going to be quite a mess. I suppose it's a 600 supply. That's really not a lot. And that's really thrown away this game. And Templar will Storm, and will it be a good one? Because Banana Brain at this point could really do with a good Storm. And I think that this qualifies as a good Storm. So with 2 goons left, yes, that was exactly the Storm that Banana Brain needed. And Egbert hasn't really got the army to follow up this pressure, so Banana Brain might have just held for this moment, and this Templar really deserves a medal. So there we go. And here again, if you build 2 cannons over here, the Terran would have a lot harder time to break the bridge. Egbert posting defenses at the main choke. I don't think, and I don't really know why Banana Brain is pressing the issue here. That's not really a thing, is it? It's just throwing away goons, and you're not really going to out-micro. Oh, Storm? Storm? Storm! Well, okay. Ish, but that was a pretty ballsy action by that one Templar. There is another one, but Banana Brain's army composition, although okay, the army micro is a little bit oh god, here we go again. And Marines all move it, and that's just throwing it all away, and I don't really know why Banana Brain is doing this. I thought it would be better than that. Especially versus the Stim Bio army, you just don't run stuff into there all the time. Doesn't work like that. So, observers overhead, and we should know what's happening. So, with a couple of DTs, Zealous fighting hard, but then again, this Terran army by now has got the +1/+1, the range, you've got the stim, you've got the medics, and with a couple of tanks rolling up, it's just not going to happen, is it? So, Egbert doing really rather well, taking down a couple of bases. Well, not taking it down, but okay. And that's a lot of High Templars. It really is. Banana Brain, for the time being, has things somewhat under control, but the probe transfer over here is not really making it work. And oh, nice bit of storms and carrier stuff going on. And with only 2 comsats, I think that might be a bit of a problem for Egbert. So, then again, Banana Brain is completely bananas with the army movement. It's just not good. So, lots of probes lost again. This base, of course, got cut to pieces. No 3rd base for Egbert yet. Egbert has got the superior army, and Banana Brain is... I'm not impressed by Banana Brain's army micro at all this game. Those are nice storms, but you're taking a buttload of damage on your High Templars. And without any follow-up, that's going to be an easy victory for Egbert. A couple of good storms, but that's just not economical working with your... Well, this Arbiter had better cover any kind of unit that is coming out. No 3rd base for Egbert yet, I don't know what that's about, but I think that Egbert has got things under control. Yeah, that was pretty much the game. So, GG, last game from over here, and then I've got about 15, hello. I've got about 15 games which have still got to be cast, so that's quite a lot. And let's see how far we can go. So Gbot versus Sparks was also a recommendation. I don't really know who recommended it to me, but usually it's pretty good. And Sparks is going for a well, game-changing build order for Protoss, really, because it's the goons with the range which can't put pressure on the Terran, and the Terran will have to defend for a little while, and then we can expand behind that. Oh, I thought that is as if you had been take it for a ride. Now you can see we've got a handful of goons over there. Terran with a nifty defensive setup, that's pretty good. And Protoss going for some kind of tech. So nothing too spectacular. Terran taking its natural as well. 2 tanks behind this huge wall. And is that one? No, those are 2 vultures. They're just chilling over there. A couple of pylons just to be sure that you are not going to get any kind of surprise, any kind of drop you only see when it's here. That's good, I think. And now we've got a shuttle with a Reaver, which is good. Might do with a couple of observers as well, because that's just going to be very painful running up all those mines. And the vultures are being beaten back. The real problem is these tanks, and I don't think that these few goons can bust the wall and the tanks. So that's yeah, a little bit of blue soup and a retreat. And I don't really know what this shuttle is going to do. It could just drop things over here or over there. And it looks like it's got some kind of a plan in its mind with that. But now the tanks are... yeah, that's a way to lose a Reaver. And now it's doing something with the goons. And I really wonder why. And the building placement is suboptimal, so some buildings are getting cut off. A couple of SCVs lost. Third base being taken by Gbot, and that's that, as they say. So, enemy analysis and where to, oh god, where to attack, where not to attack. There were 5 tanks earlier, and there are now going to be more, so if you run another pair of goons, they're just going to suffer. But this base over here is completely without protection, so a storm drop would decimate it, and the same... oh, hello, battlecruiser. Yeah, this is not a safe place for a shuttle to micro with a Reaver in its belly. this battlecruiser just spinning out, but nice to have caught that. That's 4 goons lost right there, and a couple of shield points lost on the others. So that's pretty well done, and Gbot really lacking any kind of decent decision making. Oh, well, it's pretty decent, but it's just not. Oh, and here come the tanks. So the tanks and battlecruisers, and muttering a goon might not be the best choice, but Sparks is going for a beautiful push. Tanks in the rear, they are sieging a little bit too quickly for my taste, and there are no medics along with the Marines. The Zealots, they toe the line, but they do very little else, and the battlecruisers are right on top in the mineral line, and that's usually the point where you type out and say, well, be damned, I'm not going to bother anymore. A little bit of defensive Reaver micro, a little bit better than the attacking Reaver micro. But still, these tanks rolling up, we've got about 10. It's just going to be too much. The natural is going to be broken. These battlecruisers overhead taking a lot of damage, but also doing a lot. These probes, they just die in 2 shots, so that's good enough. And yeah, these 2 shuttles with 2 Reavers, or 1 Reaver each, basically. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? So, might drop a Zealot over here, and it might blow up nicely. With all the probes being trounced, it's just a waste, basically, at this point. So, Sparks going through with its plan, taking a third... Hey, we've got an island map taken. Oh dear. How did that happen? Here we go. Dropship. With an SCV, just mine it out, 1 slot, take the base, GG, pretty well done. So we've got the first island map taken officially on stream, that's pretty good. I think perhaps that was why this game might have been recommended. This push by Sparks is going to take down the base, and of course the Vulture over here has got things well under control, no defenses, no production over here. And I think that's going to be the final whistle for Gbot. Nice fight, but in the end, not quite enough. 3 battlecruisers now, lots of tanks. And that is the GG. Oh, damn. There is some music. So, now let me load a game of a human versus... oh, look cute as it is over here. That's pretty good. because Antigua or Iruyan has been playing crazy a lot, but also sent me a set of games versus Antigua. Versus Locutus, sorry. I should be sobered if I'm going to cast, but it's not really happening this week, sorry. But Antigua going for the standard Protoss build order, I think, 2-gate range, and Locutus defending with the Zealots, and of course you can see that although Irun has got a 400 APM, is doing quite nicely versus the Zealots. That's pretty well done. And now with the Goon advantage is going to be able to take down the Forge. That's good, I think, but might have also broken the defenses, and the Locutus just can't really handle it at this point. Going to lose this base over here and all of one base, so Antigua really has to make something work with this attack, and you can see both players got the range, and Locutus has got the 2 versus the 1 base. Second base operational for Antigua now as well, and I don't know why you would want to take this base in the face of this Goon army. Locutus is not really grouping up as well as it should, and therefore is losing a lot of goons versus the human intellect of Antigua. Third base lost for no reason, because this base is entirely not safe. And Antigua is just sending out the goons by the 1 and 2s. So he is in an okay position, but Locutus wants to get that goon ball going. Army upgrade wise, +1 being started for Locutus. Locutus really ought to just build a lot of cannons and defend for a little bit and not take this base again. That's so stupid. And I don't know why it doesn't declare this space an unsafe zone or roll up this goon army to stop this. It's only 3 goons for crying out loud. You could have taken it ages ago. Third base taken by Iruyan. And Locutus still persisting on taking this base. I don't know what's with that. But now Locutus has got this goon ball going, and it is Antigua's turn to lose a couple of units. So Locutus has now got the army supply, and these goons are rolling up to the base. And this third base is in a much safer position. Antigua, sensing that something is going to be happening, isn't really microing in and out all the time, so its goons are a little bit better equipped. Now Locutus is going, all this microing in and out, it's just not worth it, I feel. Oh, but with a Reaver, I think that Antigua has got things well in control. 3 versus 3 bases, worker-wise. Oh, Irene should be defending it. And it loses the Reaver. That's not good at all, because Locutus has got impeccable macro. And although these units microing back and forth is just not worth it. And these 2 goons are taking their toll on... Oh, but Antigua has broken the main push. So that's pretty good for the time being. Upgrade-wise, both players pretty much balanced. Army composition-wise, there is a Reaver and a Dark Templar for Antigua. So that's pretty good, but it has been spotted. And after it's been spotted, it also would need to be killed. And if that doesn't happen, it's pretty much worthless. The Observer just buggers on and thinks, well, Dark Templar here, Dark Templar there. Whatever, I'm not going to even... I'm just going to chill out here. While this is not going to work at all. So this Dark Templar is really racking up the kills, and there you can see how vulnerable even a top AI still is versus human. And Locutus keeps transferring probes. That must be 30 probes lost right there. And there was an Observer there all the time, and only now it's coming back. So this is not working at all. Locutus still's got a large army, but it's just losing so much stuff. And where is that damned Observer? It's really... It's following 2 goons over here, and there is no kind of indication that there is a Dark Templar doing its thing. That's... It's... Oh, it doesn't... more probes get transferred. That's... This base shut down. So Antigua is just being handed the game to him because of this situation. It's still going. Where... You've got to be kidding me. There are 3 observers. 3 observers, and they're all fucking about. Here's one. There's one. And I can only hope that it's finally going to do something about this thing over here. But no, it's going to follow this 2-goon thing right over there. And this goon is... God, why? It is so completely bogus that he would ignore a Dark Templar like that. And this is what happened. Okay, so next game up. It's Aruyan versus Lycudus again. This time playing as a Terran, which does not have Dark Templars, so perhaps if there aren't any Cloaked Wraiths or Ghosts, Lycudus might fare quite easily. And this time it's Lycudus bringing the battle with 2 goons to the Terran contain. Terran going for mines, not tanks. And not building 1 tank, so that's pretty good. But the first damage is being done, and Antigua should be careful not to lose this first tank. That might really be costly, but then again Lycudus is losing the first goon, and it's all these kinds of small decisions which are not in anyone's favor but humans. And these tanks are basically getting free kills, and Lycudus thinks, well, something is not right, but what can I do about it? It's just not working at this point. So let's take a natural. That's always a good decision. And there we go. So natural taken. Lycudus moving out, wanting to take at least control of his own natural. And Lycudus has got a very tiny army supply, and that army is fighting as well in the middle of the map, trading vultures for goons. That's and a very bad ratio as well. That's not how it's done. And you can see that Antigua has got things well under control, not even bothering to send reinforcements. They're just standing over here. The original 3 tanks now having siege up are getting things done, and Lycudus killing 1 tank, but not really up to snuff. And that's just really a rather simple victory for the human player. We'll take one more. One more. I don't know. Circuit Breaker. Perhaps that will break the streak of Aruyan, and Aruyan is now playing as Zerg, while Lycudus is playing as Lycudus Proteus. So now with a Syncity, which is good. Bit of Wall-Off, which is good as well, but still I think that these Lings, looks like it's going to be a Ling bust. They might well be in a position, and they are not waiting in and out, they just sort of know what's happening. And although the probes do come off the line, the defensive break and the probes are no match for the Zerglings. Lots of hatches, enough workers, and that's the GG. So versus Crazio, it was a harder fight, but no, I didn't want that. Next game, it's going to be the new bot. It's the UIT test, playing as Protoss. So far, so good with the pylon to replenish the supply, which is being filled by more probes. And Simon Prince's tier bot is going to play Terran, of course, and there it goes. So UIT, I'm going to call it UIT, is going to ruck up nice and slowly. One Zealot doing the combat sim dance. Tier, of course, defending with the bunker and a couple of SCVs for support. And what's it building? A couple of buildings, nothing too spectacular, not taking a natural yet. And Tier, oh dear, this is University of Alberta thing. And the combat simulator not really taking the repair of the SCVs into account. No natural yet. So UIT doing okay. Ooh, could kill the tank. Does kill the tank. And Tier under a lot of pressure. So once you get a couple of wounds, you are golden. But then you've got to contend with a bunker with repair, and that's a hard thing to do. And that's losing a lot of wounds. But natural has been taken, so it's a 2 versus 1 base. And if you don't throw away too many wounds, you can keep killing the tanks, which are being thrown away, basically. That's still doing a lot of damage. But now the natural is nearly up. Might we see a probe transfer? Yeah, couple. so UIE test is doing okay. Problem is going to be once Simon Prince reaches a couple of tanks and vultures with mines. It's going to be pretty bloody, and of course this is not a safe place to build a bunker, but it's a good idea basically to try and build one. But now with 4 tanks on the high ground, these goons really have the best time, but ooh, Tyr is really rocking up the tanks to the front too quickly. And losing tanks time and again. These goons are pretty good, so... Oh, no, that's not a safe space. Sorry, no command centers allowed. It's really these standard implementations of University Alberta's off steam cannons with the goon micro. Once you get a goon cloud up, it's very hard for the Terran to deal with that. And Sunfield's got a lot of workers, and still this bunker is blasting away. That's so much damage being done. Now with the tank from the rear, these goons will be cleared again, because the combat simulator just can't handle the repair on this bunker very well. But by now the 3rd base is nearly finished, and let me see if there are any cool upgrades on the way, only for Terran, and it's just a goon range for a UIE test at the moment. But UIE is doing okay with the goons, and Simon Prince's main is mining out, so it doesn't really have any money for another natural, and it keeps moving or just moving tanks out on the rack. That's not good. And although it's a good day to die for many a goon, I think that in the end it's just going to be attrition, and that means that UIE test is going to take this game off Simon Prince. That's pretty good. And there we go, completely disregarding the fact that there are too many goons out there, and now there is not enough money for the repairs, and that is going to be GG. Nothing else, just plain goons, and that was the game. So, that said, let's look at another new bot. It is Proxy, and Proxy has been really impressing me over the last couple of weeks. Let's see how it's going to fare versus Locutus, and Locutus will be glad to be playing an AI instead of a human, because these humans are so exploiting you all the time. It's not really a lot of fun to suffer all that. Proxy going for some kind of Hydra play. And here come the Hydras. But Locutus being Locutus it is, with 2 cannons and a handful of zealots, is in an okay position to hold this off. Might build a lot more cannons though, because depending on upgrades, yep, there we go, range and speed, these Hydras might well take a fancy to the cannons and completely kiss them to death. Now that's the +1, I think, with Protoss. That's always a good idea to get. And with the leg speed thing, got that. Yeah, we've got leg speed. We've also got the possibility of Dark Templars, but these Hydras will really should be able to out-micro Zealots. Losing a lot, so the micro of Proxy is not really where it should be. And these Zerglings, they should be buffering damage for the Hydras, but instead they're just running away faster and are going to lose base because of that. And that's just pretty sad. So Proxy really ought to keep them. No Protoss unit has been seen here ever. And the Zealot just roll up to the base and completely kill it. That's how you do it. Oh, and then the Zealots bugger off back home again. And now the Hydras, they really ought to be able to do something about this, and now they do. But the 3rd base for Locutus has been up and running for quite some time. So drone-wise, Proxy's doing okay, but had it built that 4th base over here, it might have a 4 versus 2 base situation on its hand, and that might have been infinitely better. And these Hydras, the micro is just not good. They're in a large conga line, and it's lucky for them that these Zealots are fleeing. But if you get some kind of a concave going, like is happening now, you might be in a much better position, and the Hydra count is growing and growing and growing. Upgrade-wise, could be a little bit more proactive. Oh god, here we go with the Dark Temple again. No. Is there Overlord speed? Well, I don't know. The Overlord's just sitting around here doing damn all. So with 3 Dark Templars, this is going to be very quick and very bloody. And Locutus is, well, oh god. This is just too painful to watch. It's just a couple of Dark Templars completely destroying an entire Zerg army. Oh, and finally, once the Dark Templar reaches the natural where some Overlords do happen to hang out, is going to be a problem. And oh, Zerg's finding this base over here. It's just a lot of units. Proxy has got things well in control. And without any kind of concerted effort by the DTs, or perhaps a heightened luck would have been nice as well for this kind of situation. 2 or 3 good storms and the Zealots could mop everything up. But now Locutus is losing a base. It's a 3 versus 4 base, and again in the wrong position. But you can't have it all. And it's just going to be a hatchery tech level kind of thing with just a bucket load of Hydras. And I don't know why Locutus decided that. Zealots are a good idea. It's not evaluating the enemy at all. Just building there. And Proxy is just going to not even bother with a lair, just going to take all the bases on that. And 1A, 2A, 3A, this Dark Templar is having a field day, but even it cannot keep up with all the units which are being ferried over. It must have 100 kills by now. But these few cannons really can't stand the Zerg onslaught which is following. And I think that Locutus might... of course, you're going to complicate your AI by adding higher level tech. But then again, you really rather need it, and you can't rely on one Dark Templar to stop this kind of Zerg madness. Bases all over the place. We've got 50 workers, and although it's doing its best, it's only got +1 upgrade. And the Zerg will just tear down your base while you are slashing away on your own. And now it thinks, well, that's whatever, I'm not going to defend anymore, I'm sick and tired of it. I'm going to get some drones or something, or just defend, or whatever. And Locutus is silently rolling over, while Proxy is doing its immaculate macro thing. Look at that production tab, it's just units, hatcheries, overlords, and Proxy 2 might benefit greatly by having Lair and overlords being just scouting out the odd Dark Templar, because it's got so many kills, it's just it's out of this world. But still, there are just too many Zerg units, and Proxy is going to be... But if there were 10 Dark Templars, this game would have been entirely different. Because I think about 10 Dark Templars, you can sort of stop this Zerg thing right in its tracks. And, well... There we go, GG Proxy doing it again. Next game up, and I am thinking about last game. Last game is going to be Purple Swarm vs Killabot, and I really ought to be running after this, but there we go. Purple Swarm vs Killabot is going to be a ZVZ of some description, and Killabot is not going to build any workers, so is losing a little bit in the first encounter, but comes off nicely, and now it's got 9 versus 3 workers. So Purple Swarm, oh, and then doing the gas trick, just not really wanting to build another Overlord, and losing another drone. Oh, but now is in the mineral line. It is so tense. But I think if I blend this out, that with 2 versus 6 workers, that Killabot's got things well in control, and if these 2 Zerglings tag up with these 5 over here, Killer might have, yes, that's a good kill. And Purple Swarm nearly got it done. 4 workers, what's it building now? It's building Zerglings. And although that might be a good decision, there is just a worker advantage for Killer at this moment. So with the defender's advantage, I think you might get something done, but not anymore. That's your last act of drones, and this was the game. Sorry for not having been able to cast all the games this week, but that's just going to be all we have time for today. So everyone in the Gold Project, good luck, have fun. Please all come and watch the AIST tournament, which will be broadcast later tonight. Watch the Facebook for times. And thank you all the coders and watchers. We'll see you again next week with another broadcast, hopefully a bit longer. For now, goodbye.